Just to refresh what we saw last week, we were discussing about time management and we were going through 4 different quadrants. Urgent, important, urgent, or not urgent, important. Then we saw not important, urgent, and not important, not urgent. And of all these 4, we were discussing how if we don't plan, we will always be in urgent and important situation. Even though on one hand, and we were discussing how our whole life should be in the second quadrant where you deal with important things, but in a not so urgent way. So this is on a very, very high level. Okay, so if we have, let us say, 20 different things to do, you take those 20 different things and put in each one of those quadrants. Did any one of you consciously made, or were you a little conscious, little aware when you were thinking about wasting time this week? Good. So that means something is going in, but it just comes with repetition. Okay, so today we are going to look at, let's assume we are now categorizing whatever tasks, whatever work that we do in our lives in one of those 4 different categories. Now, as they say, devil is in the details. How are we going to now deal with them? Okay, let us say I have moved everything, whatever I found, something which I like to do. Let's go around the room. Please do tell me something which you like to do, which you are not able to do now, but something which you think will actually benefit you in the long run. Come on. Anything?
Doing communication skills.
Okay, improving communication skills. That's very good. Any other? You don't need to be shy.
Being entrepreneur.
Being an entrepreneur. You know, there is like so many skills you need to learn for that one. And it's not something you can learn overnight. Yes? Anything more?
Doing coding.
Coding. What language?
Python.
Python. Okay. Python. Coding. Anything else?
Learning Odyssey.
What is learning Odyssey? Oh, Odyssey. So you want to learn the ancient dance, Odyssey. Yes, that's considered to be the most ancient style of dancing. Okay. Yes. Anything else?
Certification field.
Yes, certification.
Yeah.
On what?
Some Salesforce admin and
I got Salesforce admin certification. Yes.
solution architecture.
Solution architect. Very good. That's very good. So you can see things which we like to do always, we dream about. Those things you put it in second quadrant. As we were discussing last week, that is where if you plan your time properly, that's where you will live your life. If you don't do like that, then you will be pushed to live in first quadrant only all the time, wherein you have pressure, you will always feel like you have so many things to do. You can never relish it, and you can never really do any progress in that. You know, how much do you think you will learn studying for one day before the exam? How many of you even remember anything? Nothing. Understand? Now you may think this is only for exam. Same thing we actually carry in everything. I was giving example, your health, your finance planning, relationships, you know, cleaning your room, you know, buying a property, everything gets delayed because of that. Okay, it's the same nature. Understand one thing, it is the same nature that you carry everywhere. So don't think, I used to think like that. When I came to Krishna consciousness, I thought, wow, you know, outside it's a karmi world, it's a rat race I always need to run. So I clearly demarcated, that is material life and this is spiritual life. Until I came across politics and spiritual life. No, just joking. So I was demarcating like that. But then there is one problem with the demarcation. What do you think is the problem that I face? Mega.
Well, I guess you can't really change how you think. So then if you think about one thing in a particular way, it's hard to just flick a switch and then think about the other aspect of life in a different
way. Correct. You feel very relaxed in your spiritual life. Guess how you would naturally end up feeling when you are at work or when you are in studies? Very relaxed. Krishna, please take care. Understand, that's a very lazy way of leading life. In fact, if you think about it, how often or the duration of your life or the time that you spend in the association of devotees in a more spiritual environment versus the time that you spend away from that, where do you think you will spend most of your time in?
90% outside, 10%.
Only 90%? Almost 99%. Because the outside time from work, you sleep more, correct? You think for 12 hours there, 12 hours here, but this includes, sleeping, bathing, cooking, cleaning, everything. Like, how often can we say we are spiritual during those times? Understand? Very, very tiny part. 5%, maybe 10%, wherein you will be directly thinking about Krishna. You will do. Majority of the time, you will be dealing with people, dealing with your situation, dealing with your life outside of your Krishna consciousness. Understand? What good is your philosophy if it can work only 2%, 5% of your time, or even let's be generous, 10% of your times only. 90% it doesn't. Understand? That means we are underselling our potential. Wouldn't it be nice if we can carry the same level of inspiration, same level of enthusiasm 24/7? Then you will always be the same personality that you are. I'll give you an example. Before joining the temple, I was working in a company in the city. That's the #1 trust company in Australia. So, as she was saying, Salesforce, that's the CRM that I work with. So, we were developing, because it was at a very primitive stage at that time, to deploy, we had a support team that would do. But because it needed more technical skill at that point of time, there was no wizard. Just a click of the button, it just does everything for you. Now we have, then we didn't. So whoever did the development, they have to go be with the support team and help them to do. And I was doing. Okay, I was a technical BA, I was working with the developers, get it, because I come from programming background, I understand, technical side as well as a little bit about the business side. I take it, I went. So I did. One girl was there, local girl, she'll always do. Very expert, she has been working for 5-6 years in the same company. One day, just suddenly out of the blue, she asked, "Are you a monk?" I swear I haven't actually opened even a single word about that. And I had decided that I want to be a monk, but there was still 6 months away. I didn't share it with anyone in the office, nothing. People can sense it. It's the same personality that we carry everywhere we go. Understand? We think sometimes it doesn't actually affect. I can clearly demarcate like that. The problem with that approach is you will constantly be living in a duality. Understand? You can't enjoy the process at all. That means there's a big flaw in the way how you go about executing your life. Understand? So, first of all, come out of this mentality. I touched on this, I think, in last October retreat. Come out of this mentality, constantly seeing good and bad. Constantly seeing. Krishna himself discourages. There is a section in Bhagavatam called Uddhava Gita, where Krishna actually tells, if somebody constantly sees, this is a good guy, this is a bad guy, this is a devotee, this is a non-devotee, it doesn't work like that. Because whoever you see around, if you have the vision, if you have that sense of being broad-minded, you will actually see everyone serving Krishna. Especially when you see somebody who's against, or somebody who is more agnostic. Agnostic means people who don't believe unless they see. Okay, agnostic means they are a group of people who are not atheistic, but they are also not convinced that unless you see, you can believe. Understand? You cannot actually see the reason why things are happening this way. So that's what agnostic means. People who are very inconclusive about, or unless they see, they won't believe in anything. That's what agnostic means. Understand? So you come across these people, your mind, guess what it will say? Demon. Or maybe Mataji is demoness. That's what mind says. But actually, Krishna says that's not how we should look at our lives. Understand? So constantly you should not be, because it's the same mentality you carry. Today is Monday. Understand where it's going. I have to cook now. Oh, I have to take bath. Oh, I have to sleep. Sometimes mind says that also. Everything mind complains all the time. Understand? So the way to actually approach that is, you take everything and you try to see hand of Krishna in everything. It's difficult in beginning, I should tell you. It is difficult. Especially when things don't go your way. Not going your way is one thing, especially when things go against you. Very difficult. But trust me, it's just a little curve. You have to just surf around that. Once you go past a certain stage, You will have your default script that's actually working in your mind, and that will clearly work in your favor more than your mind, your intelligence. Understand? But first and foremost thing is you need to stop unnecessarily making the differentiation. This is devotional life, this is not devotional life. This is useful in my life, this is not useful. You have already signed up for a course, you have already signed up to actually work in a company job. Just embrace whatever that comes with that, take it. Or you have already signed up for a relationship, you have already bought a home. There's no point. I know many devotees, after they're buying the home, they say, oh, you know what, Prabhu, Vastu is bad. You can't do nothing about it. Just live with that. Okay, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. So we should come out of that mentality. So going back to our 4 quadrants. So whatever that you think is something which is going to add value to you, something which you want to be good at, you have to put in the 2nd quadrant, which is, it is not urgent, but it is very, very important. Okay, this is where you should lead your life. Now, what do you think? Let's say you categorized everything, it's there, and you have plenty of time. What do you think will be the challenge which your mind will throw at you at this point? Let us say you want to become an Odissi dancer. What do you think the challenge is to get started?
Fear.
Fear? Okay, anything else? What are some of the reasons which your mind will say? Let's say somebody said entrepreneur.
Procrastination.
That's the word. Procrastination. Procrastination means you delay thinking, okay, I have my exam in 2 weeks time. I have 2 weeks. And then you lose 4 days. Suddenly mind will recalibrate and it will say you have 10 days. Not just 1.5 weeks. And then it comes down 1 week. No, 7 days you have. It will come down, only 2 days left. No, you have 48 hours left still. 1 day, only 24 hours. Again, you will wake up late in the morning. And you think, I still have another 18 hours. And then what you do? Eat a nice meal and sleep. That's all. Procrastinates. Why is it the mind procrastinating all the time? She touched on one point, which is fear. Very important. Anything else?
It creates easy dopamines when thinking not doing anything.
Okay. It thinks it's actually easy not to do anything. Kritika, what do you think?
Routine.
Elaborate.
Like mind needs time to get adapted in certain routine. And thinking about that, we get scared, like
Yes.
do certain work.
Mind is very used to doing something in a certain way. Have any of you come across a book called Who Moved My Cheese? Heard about it? It's about change management in a company, in a life. How much we are risk averse. Averse means you hate. Risk averse means you hate taking risks. You hate changing anything the way that you do. Understand? But do you think is it possible to do one thing in exact same way throughout the life? It's not possible. As they say, nothing but change is constant in this world. Understand? So it's not possible. Even though your mind will be hooked on to something, it will still wait to recreate exactly same situation again. It never happens. There are so many variables that happens in our lives. There are so many things that can go against us. We ourselves will feel different. Our body actually grows old. Mind gets tired. So many things happen. So we can't be stuck with just one way of doing things. Understand? So mind, because it is very risk averse, it just gets stuck in a certain way. It will not let you to think outside the box. It will not allow you to go explore some new things. What are the other things you think that can disturb you, that can throw challenge at you when you want to start doing something, even though you may have plenty of time?
Getting too comfortable.
Too comfortable. Okay, everything is going fine. What's the problem now? Gets too comfortable. But when you get too comfortable, there won't be any growth. Wherever there is growth, there has to be pressure. No pain, no gain. No guts, no glory. There has to be. Okay, you take a seed has got a shell. It has to actually break it open. Okay, they say diamond is just a carbon, yet another chunk of carbon, but that has gone through so much extreme pressure. No pressure out, it is still going to be a charcoal. People just throw it away. Nobody actually cares about that. Understand? So, Mind actually is very risk averse. Mind gets too comfortable doing something. Mind is always trying to take the least resistance path. So if you want to give yourself a good opportunity to try something new, you need to push yourself. There's no other way. Push yourself sounds very, cumbersome. I have to do this. You don't need to hate doing what you're doing. That's how I used to think. I was clearly demarcating. Wednesday I used to come and attend a class here, and a whole day I will be waiting. 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Why is the clock moving so slow? Finally 5 o'clock I'll feel I'm liberated. But actually I was cheating. I'll tell you why. So then I'll come attend. 2 hours I'll attend the program. And then that's it. I have rest of my week now. I have to deal with myself. Understand? It was disturbing. So much so that I realized the work pressure was actually disturbing me even when I am in devotee circumstances or devotee association. How many of you have that experience? You come here, still at the back of your mind, your PR is disturbing. Back of your mind, your work assignment, pending things, so many things are still disturbing. Then I came across Radhanath Maharaj's class. So one class he said something interesting. He said that a pure devotee means one of the qualities of the pure devotees is avyartha kalatvam. Avyartha kalatvam means they'll be very, very cautious how they are spending their time. Now, if somebody is very, very cautious how they are spending their time, that means they need to value it. Valuing it means they need to do something useful with the time. Otherwise, why will anybody even bother counting? Correct? When you have 10 days holidays, nobody even cares how many days you actually waste. Correct? But if you really value it, you won't. You'll be very, very cautious how you use it. Then Maharaj went on to say that a pure devotee means they will actually see everything being sent by Krishna. Now, this is the challenging part, most challenging part. Because many things we have to do in life are boring, correct? At least it looks like that. Boring. Boring until we don't see the connection. It will be very exciting. It will be very titillating if you know how to connect it in service of Krishna. Now, many times Krishna won't help us see the whole picture. You take example of Arjuna. Arjuna's situation was, he was just a young boy, he was sent to Gurukula, that's all. Everyone in those days, the way how the Kshatriyas, they would choose the weapon is, they would have like a mound of different weapons that's there. They will let the little kids go. They are still 5-year-old when they join the ashram. They go and they pick up whatever that they feel comfortable with. I was thinking that's how Bhima must have picked up, Gata. He was so strong, he must be like, I need something which is like, really solid. He took. Likewise, you will come across, Nakul, Sahadev, they are experts in sword fighting. Likewise, Yudhishthir Maharaj, just like how we say Arjuna was the number one archer, similarly, Yudhishthir Maharaj was number one spearman. He is very expert in fighting with the spear. So you will come across like that. So they pick it up. So everyone was given the same opportunity. Arjuna at that point didn't even know who is Krishna, at least as far as the Leela goes. He is still a 5-year-old boy. But then he went and he totally surrendered himself to the process. So much so that even at night time he used to practice. And he learnt it from Bhima because Bhima was a voracious eater. Even at night time, one day Arjuna sees Bhima in Gurukula. He was going in the kitchen, slowly crawling without making any noise, picking up something, and then he calls, "Oh, my dear brother, what are you doing?" He says, "My body is big. My stomach is proportionately big. So I have to eat." And then he says, "How can you eat at night?" Then he says, "My hand knows where the food is and also knows where my mouth is." That's how he eats. Arjuna gets the idea. If you read Mahabharata, you will see. That's how Arjuna gets the idea. Okay, so similarly, I know where the bow is and my eyes know where the target is. My hand know where the arrow is. That's how he practices ardently every single day, every single night, sacrificing his sleep. When Dronacharya sees how sincere he is, he actually gives a test. Couple of tests you will come across in. Anyone knows what test Dronacharya keeps for all the boys? Hand up, Suman.
Alligator one.
Yes, there is one alligator. So he makes a dummy alligator even in those days. and he makes the alligator move somehow using remote control. So he goes into the waters and then he acts and he cries for help as if he's been grabbed by the alligator, and the alligator does come, touches him. But then he acts, so all the kids, they get scared and they run away, run out of the water. Except Arjuna, he picks up the arrow and then he comes and shoots. That is when Dronacharya sees how sincere he is, how surrendered he is to the Guru. So then he blesses him, okay, you will be my number one student in the whole world. There won't be any other archer like you. There is another test also he keeps. Anyone remembers? From Mahabharata. For all the kids. So he mounts a dummy bird right at the top of a tree, and then he calls each one of them, asks them to take an aim, they take an aim, and then he asks them, before you release the arrow, you describe what you see. Duryodhan comes and he says, I see the big tree, I see lot of fruits. Then he says, step aside, you are useless. Then he calls Yudhishthir Maharaj, same Yudhishthir Maharaj describes, he says, step aside, step aside. Finally, when he calls Arjuna, Arjuna takes aim and then he asks him, what do you see? He says, I see the bird. Describe more. Then he says, I see the eye, I see the neck. What else do you see? He says, I don't see nothing. Then he passes the test. Then from that point onwards, Dronacharya actually spends so much time. Mind you, he is still a small boy. He still didn't know how his skills are going to come to his use. At that point of time, he doesn't even know Divyastra. He doesn't know celestial weapons. Nothing he knows. Just like how any other kid that you see in the streets now, this is exactly how much he know. He had a bow and he had some iron arrows. That's all he knew. Understand? So when we go through the journey, many times Krishna won't reveal to us because we don't know how to handle it. We don't know what to make out of it. How many of you have this experience when you went through some difficulty, you think, this is it, I can't handle this. And then time moves on. Initially you will be feeling like, oh my God, why did it happen to me? But then over a period of time you get so used to it, then you think, actually, you know what? I'm so glad it happened to me. How many of you have that experience? Happens. What does it tell you? Anshu.
That it happened to teach me something else.
Anything else? What does the whole experience teach you? Anyone else?
Externally.
Sorry, what?
Externally.
Okay. Anything. Externally, internally, anything. What does it teach you? Anamika.
I think it teaches you no matter what the situation is, it's come to teach you something and then you get out stronger.
Listen to that. Understand? No matter what happens, allow things to actually happen and try to see the hand of Krishna. Pray to Krishna to give you the intelligence to see it. Initially, the time when something happens to you to the time when you realize will be bigger. But as you progress in bhakti, you will almost see it. Straight away you will see it. And you will go and embrace the challenge. Something that will blow away people's mind, you will be able to go and embrace it. Wholeheartedly, you will actually start to enjoy the process. That's what would happen. But the most important thing is not running away from responsibility. Understand, many times our mind also says about inspiration. You wait until you feel inspired and then you do. Is that how life works? Never. Inspiration is something that you experience when you are in action only. You look back in your life, you think about something. Have you got this experience? Initially you are just too tired to clean the room. And then you start. And then suddenly you notice, windows are dusty. Guess what you do? Pull the chair, climb up and do. Have you got that experience? Initially you think, I'll do only that much. Where did that inspiration come? Because you put yourself into some action, you claimed a certain credit. Because of that, you set the whole thing, the inspiration, momentum of the inspiration going. Now you are able to do even more. Okay, so understand this part. Again, this is one trick which mind plays, that first you get inspired and then you do. It never works like that. Inspiration is something that you experience while you are in action and not when you are not doing nothing. Not when you are just sitting and planning. That's not when inspiration happens. Okay, your inspiration can be something. Let's say you go for a walk, you may have inspiration to cook. Still some action is needed. But if you lie down lazy, it doesn't work like that. We have one of our acharyas, in Sri Sampradaya. His name is Kulashekar Alvar. He was a great king, and later on he gives up everything and he becomes a saint. Okay, so he is also considered one of the 12 Alvars. Alvars are like our Mahajanas. We have 12 Mahajanas. Like that, Alvars means there are different Alvars there. Andal is one Alvar. You will come across Vishnu Chitta or Peri Alvar, Nammalvar. You will come across many. Kulashekara is also one of the Alvars. He wrote a famous poem called Mukunda Mala Stotra. Prabhupada had actually translated, I think, 5 verses. On that, there is one verse which is very favorite of Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada often quote, Krishna Tvadiya Pada Pankaja Pancharantam, where Kulashekar Alvar prays to Krishna, "O Krishna, when will I die? I would rather die now when I am hale and healthy, when my mind is very sharp, my intelligence is sharp, when the energy in my body is at its peak. Otherwise, what is the use of me prolonging my life when I am on my deathbed, when the mucus is coming and choking up my throat, when my mind is no longer sane? At that time, it will be very hard for the swan of my mind to enter into the stem of your lotus feet." He says like that. He uses the analogy like that. Prabhupada often quote that. Reason why I am saying Kulashekar Alvar is, he is a great king. So every day morning, to wake him up, the bards, they would come. Bards are like professional singers. They would sing nice poem glorifying Lord, glorifying the king, to wake him up. So one day they come, try to open the door, door was locked. And because the king had actually told the servant, don't open the door, because he has guards everywhere, even inside. So just outside the guard, he says like, no, the king said no. Then finally it got very late. Then the minister, fearing for the life of the king, he overrides the order of the king and he says, no, you have to open. And then when they open, they see him writing this poem. And then he says, while I was sleeping, I saw Krishna in my dream. I didn't want to actually lose that inspiration. So he immediately got up and he started to write. Normally, otherwise, he would go for his morning sadhana. He would go get ready, go and do the puja, go and do the worship like that. The reason why I am saying that is, don't use that as an excuse. What are you doing? Krishna I am seeing early in the morning. So don't do that. Okay, so inspiration is something you get when you are doing something. Mind will always say that. Mind will also play one other trick. Let us say today you had a certain plan to start your work at 8 o'clock. And for some reason you woke up late, woke up at 7:30, still 2 days holidays. And you go to 8:30, you are taking breakfast. Guess what your mind will already start to say? You anyway miss the boat. What's the problem? So what you do is, you just enjoy the rest of the day. Mind makes good plan. Go to bed on time and then wake up next day and then you do it properly. Does it work like that? No. Once you start to enjoy, you will again end up going to bed late. Next day morning again. And guess what the mind would say the next day? Stupid. Why did you waste your day yesterday? You can never put your trust on mind. Bhagavatam says, one place, just like how a hunter, after hunting an animal, even when the animal is still alive, he would tie it to a pole, still trying to hunt more animals, but he will still keep a constant vigil on that animal. He never thinks that I have captured that animal fully. Why? At any point of time, the animal can run away. What is this example compared for or used for? Mind. We should never think, I've controlled my mind. We should never think, yeah, my mind is under control. So whether we are happy or sad, whether we are enthusiastic or feeling down, we should always train the mind to stick to the process of bhakti all the time. Otherwise, normally our tendency is, when some trouble comes, I'll go to Krishna. How often do you think trouble comes in life?
Always.
Always it comes, but you get so used to it that it doesn't bother you after some time. Bhagavatam also says there are two people who are very happy in this world. One is a very self-realized soul, second one is a madman. Okay, we have 3 planetary systems. There is upper planetary system, There is middle and there is lower planetary system. Human life is available in the middle planetary system where we are. And human life is considered to be the best among all the different species of life. Why? In human life only we have a good mix of pleasure and pain. So it's not a flaw, it's a feature. You go to higher planetary system, I'll tell you some things about higher planetary system, it will blow your mind. In higher planetary system, people live for 10,000 years and their one day is one whole year for us. So you can do the math. It doesn't stop there. Here if you say, most of you are in the first quarter of your life, you go past second quarter. I still remember on my 30th birthday, my temple president called me and he said, "You are 30 today?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Welcome to the club, old men's club. You won't feel like young person anymore. Most part of your life will be almost on the second half. That's how you will think. Okay, I'm in the second half of my life. That's how you will think." So, but if you go to higher planetary system, let's say Swargaloka, you are 10,000 years. If you go by the same proportion, we would think, right, like, okay, for first 2,500 years, they'll be young. And then the remaining time, they'll be very happy. No. When you go to higher planetary system, if you live for 10,000 years, and let's say today is the last day of your 10,000th year, after which, God knows what your destination is. Until that day morning, you will still remain young and youthful. And then just in the span of one day, you will go through the remaining phase of your life and you will drop down dead. Here, if there is an intercourse between a male and a female, there is a sin if it is outside of the marriage life. Law is different in higher planetary system. There is no sin. Even if there is an intercourse, there is no conception either. All this sounds good, right? So who would follow Dharma anyway? That's why you will come across Indra. It will give you some idea why he is feeling insecure when he sees someone else practicing, like tapasya or something that will give them spiritual credit. Do you have a mat? So higher planetary system, if you see, it's fully enjoyment and little pain. So opportunity to think about bhakti, think about Krishna is very, very minimal. Lower is exact opposite. Pain is so much. If you go to, let's say, to hellish planet, you may think there too much pleasure, so I can't think about Krishna. Okay, let me go to hell, I can think about Krishna. Do you think so? No. Because pain is so much there, you will think like, please let me die. Pain is so much that we won't be able to think about Krishna. So human life where we are here, there is a perfect balance that's actually there, wherein there is pleasure and there is pain. Other places, in many ways, you will be influenced by the ambience around, except in human life. Human life, because you have both in good proportion, you will never get carried away one way or the other. So that's why this is known as Karmabumi. Karmabumi means the place where you change your destiny. Normally people who go to, you are sitting on a very high seat like Hanumanji. Okay. No. I know.
But I always
I get the intent, I get the idea, but take it out, it's okay. So, point is, whereas in human life, if you see, it's in perfect proportion, understand? But we need to understand how to deal with the situations in our life. How do we deal with the situation? By increasing our bhakti, what it does is, it gives us the vision with which you will be able to see what is it that Krishna wants me to do. It looks painful now, but no, I have to do it now. In time management, there is a technique called Pomodoro. I was touching on that last week. Pomodoro speaks about something very, very fundamental based on human nature, on mind's nature. Let's take a step back to understand how our mind works. I was giving this example. Let's say you go to the restaurant, you see a plate of prasad that looks nice, something which is very familiar to you. What's your favorite dish, Roman?
I didn't.
You can eat anything. Gyalbu, what's your favorite?
Me too.
Hey, come on, man. These guys are just too shy. Momo. Yes. If you are from Nepal and you don't know Momo, you must be from Mars, not from Nepal. Okay, any other? Suman, what's your favorite?
Biryani.
Biryani. You're my man. Kushi. She has too many from Rajasthan. Come on. Dal bati. Okay, good. Anamika, yours?
Any North Indian.
Any North Indian is fine. Anything with paneer. One thing I should tell you. In South India, the place where I come from, paneer means rose water. When you go to a marriage, you know, like they spray. When I came to ISKCON, until that point, I don't know what paneer is. They say we cook sabji with that. You cook sabji with this? Even now when I go home, like, you know, sometimes my parents call or somebody, relatives call, so what did you have for lunch? I said, I take paneer sabji. Do they cook paneer like that? Like that. Nivedita, what's your favorite?
I like dal pakwan. It's from Singh.
Okay, so you have very specific, authentic, indigenous variety. Okay, good. Anyone else? Anshu, what's your favorite? Momo. Really? Boiled peanuts. That's my favorite. Kritika, what's yours? Yours also Momo. Lakshmi, yours?
Me, it's just rice and potato piece.
Rice and potato. Peace. So we have our favorites. So in mind, if it actually goes to a restaurant and sees your favorite thing there may be other things. But mind will get attracted only to that sense object that is actually attracting it more. Understand? It won't register anything else. It takes something through these senses. That's why each of the 5 senses, they are known as jnanendriyas, knowledge acquiring senses. So it takes the signal, sends it to the intelligence. Intelligence then goes and processes it. Because intelligence is now having some information, it needs to now conclude what it is. Then it goes to its own database, which is technically known as chitta. When we chant Sikshashtakam, when we say Cheto Darpana Marjanam, it's the chitta. Chitta, it's where, that's the memory, that's where all your previous mental impressions are actually stored. Anything you learn, any verse that you know, any good person that you have met, bad person, good experience, bad experience, everything gets stored in that aspect of your subtle body known as chitta. Okay, if it comes, tries to match something, it doesn't match, then it realizes, okay, this must be new. That's how I would actually experience, okay, this is a Momo. I have seen Momo, I haven't taken it. Next time somebody brings it something colorful, until on my birthday, thank you. And she was like, what, I sent so much? So, for the ashram. So, that's Momo. So, here, if we see something and it doesn't actually do a pattern match, then it learns something new, it stores something. It will ask, what is this? Then somebody says, this is a Momo, it then goes and stores that image. Next time you come across something, it does the same. And the following time, and the following time. This is how it actually learns, memorizes things, and it stores there. Understand? Now, next time if the mind goes, or let's say you're going to the restaurant, you find Momo, which is your favorite, but right, or dal bati, whatever, you know. But right next to that, you find something more attractive. Guess what your mind will now capture and send to intelligence? It will reject your favorite, it will go only to that. If you ask, what is it, on what basis is the mind choosing one over the other? There is no reasoning except the signal it gets from the sense object. That's all. Understand? So it sends, takes that information, pushes it to intelligence again. Mind does only 2 things. Mind cannot think. You cannot train the mind. You cannot teach the mind anything. When we sometimes say, you know, mind is uncontrolled, mind is this, mind is that, that's mind's nature. But in effect, what we are actually commenting on is on the intelligence. Intelligence is supposed to actually build its muscles so it can control the mind. Mind as such does only 2 things, sankalpa and vikalpa. It accepts or it rejects. Even without consulting with the intelligence. It just accepts, like I'm saying, you are going, there is Momo, normally it will pick up. On what basis it is actually one day rejecting Momo and going to the next one? It just feels it's attractive, it just takes. There's no reason otherwise. Understand? That's why mind we should never trust. Many times like, and I think I gave this example recently. You know, you go, someone is actually like, you know, let's say, piling up a pack of cards, making a pyramid. What's the crazy thought which everyone gets at that point? Exactly. Kalash. It's just a thought that crosses. Why? Are you against that person? No. Are you against anyone feeling happy? No, I'm a good person. Still, from where is that one coming? Understand? It just thinks, what is this? Destroying will be so much fun. And then, shh, no, keep quiet, like that. Understand? So mind, there's no reason for it. Do you know why I'm talking about that? You would think, I will actually work in the second quadrant. This thought will just cross. Just a delay, we can look at it later. Interestingly, as much as we laugh now at the nature of the mind, at that time we'll take the mind's call very seriously. Yeah, what mind says is right. Why? Because I also feel good. Okay, fine. Understand? So scriptures time and again warn us that we should never trust the mind. Sometimes mind, as I said, here let me go and smash that pyramid. That's what mind says. But just because the thought crossed your mind doesn't mean you have to own it. Just because the thought crossed your mind doesn't mean you have to act on it either. There is a thought that comes, let it pass. You don't need to act on it. So the biggest challenge you will find working in the second quadrant is mind will actually say, what's the point? It's a holiday. You deserve to have your own free time. Just to chill out. Don't take it too seriously. Mind may actually say, this is something you can easily finish in another 2 hours. And there is another 20 days. Good. What you have to do is, that 2 hours is now. You have to make a start now. So in Pomodoro Technique, the underlying principle, the basic principle there is, any task you have, make a start. And that can be something simple, like let's say an assignment. First thing you do is just open, look at the question and let the question sink in. Okay, so this is what I'm supposed to do. That's good enough. And let us say you assess, okay, for assignment, the teacher said it's going to take a day. But in this time management technique, Pomodoro technique, what you do is, okay, in a day, I'm going to approach the same task 8 times. In small chunks of an hour. But the very first chunk, you always go take a very, very smallest unit possible. I'll just go look at it for 5 minutes. Trust me, it will make a big difference. The biggest challenge we all have is not to do anything. The biggest challenge we have is to start doing something. Starting is the problem. Once you start, the cleaning example that I gave, you start to clean, suddenly you will see, wow, there's so much dirt here. I'll clean the fan, I'll do this, I'll do that, and you'll spend half a day. But the biggest challenge is starting. And the same thing holds true for your exams, same thing holds true for any long-term skill you want to cultivate, same thing holds true for anything, your health. If you want to go for walking, first feel like, yes, I'm an athlete now. Wear proper clothes, that's actually friendly for your walking. Wear shoes, you'll suddenly feel like, yeah, you know what, I have to walk now. But the biggest challenge is not walking, biggest challenge is wearing the shoes. Understand? So any task, if you want to push back on the procrastinating nature of the mind, first and foremost thing you need to do is, you need to make a start straight away. There is no shortcut for it. As I said, time management experts have done research in this. I have put myself through this process for last 15 years. Trust me, it works like a charm. It's a simple thing, but there is no second way. This is the only way. Which is, first you move everything to your second quadrant, which is you approach the tasks with ample time at your disposal. But then with that ample time, what you do is, you make a start straight away. Whoever who wanted to become an entrepreneur, somebody said that, you need to do now. What you want to do, at least that much you need to know. Whoever wanted to dance Odissi, at least read a Wikipedia article about it. What is Odissi? Make a start. Whoever wants to, whatever, become the big investor, become entrepreneur, somebody said, become programmer, coder, start to code. But the first step is the biggest step. First step is the problematic step. In music, if you read any raga, for example, let's say sa re ga ma, then re ga ma pa. Always the first syllable or the first word or the first letter of the phrase, they'll always emphasize more. Why? If they don't emphasize more, sa re ga ma, pa, you cannot actually really catch the melody there. Understand? First one alone they'll emphasize more, and then the other swaras you will see it will go very slow, very weakened. But the first one is where dagi tete dage dina, dagi tete dage dina, dagi tete dage dina. You understand? There's no rhythm there. Dagi tete dage dina. When you emphasize on the phrases, that's where you get the melody. Does it make sense? Same way, that emphasis for any task is how soon you can start. Trust me, that's the game changer. How soon can you start on anything? That's what's going to determine how good are you going to get it. Not so much how much time you spend on it. The impact that you will have on your life with starting something soon is far greater than the amount of time you actually spend on it. Because once you start, you will get going. The biggest problem is people keep procrastinating for 10 years, 20 years also. Have you come across or have you got any experience in your own life of something which you had postponed for years? Give me some example. Anyone?
I didn't do my PT for a year.
PT, just now coming. I'll do it now. Anything else? Don't know how to answer that. You can follow what my temple president told me. You think, how do you see yourself in another 2 years time, 5 years time, 10 years time? Have you got something which you thought I'll do it now, but you just postponed for years?
I always wanted to learn different coding languages.
You always wanted to learn different
Coding languages.
coding languages. Wow, I have some more. Swajati, good. Sir, Dhruv,
I cannot think of anything.
you didn't think of anything. I used to be like you. But I don't want to be like you anymore. Megha, have you postponed anything?
Yeah, just like making a good exercise plan.
Making a good exercise plan. Okay, we always postpone it. But trust me, anything is possible provided you make a start on it. To me, that was a big revelation. When I actually read that, I thought like, is it really true? I thought like, okay, let me try. In Krishna consciousness, I always wanted to read every day. Because this whole concept about just read one verse every day, it's all good, was very romantic for me. I thought like, wow, one verse I can read. I can read. I was postponing for 3 years like that. Then one day I came in front of Radha Gopinath. Radha Gopinath are like, hey, you remember the technique you learned? Yes. Okay, Gopinath. Today onwards I'll open. Till date I follow. 15 years I'm following. All I have to do is just pick up the book and open. That's all I have to do. And then things like happen like a charm. Biggest challenge I realized, we think we are not good at something. We are actually good at everything. Whatever that we want to be good at, we can become instantly. The only mistake, trust me, we are all doing is not making a start. Once you start, it will just go. Try it on anything. Could be your exercise, could be your coding, could be on nothing. Dhruv, start on something. You can do it. Could be cooking, could be anything. But the first thing we have to do is make a start. And when you start, what happens is, once you make a start, you will have, like somebody mentioned about fear. Fear goes away already because you're already used to it. You have already interacted with it. And you have some confidence that if I put a bit more, yeah, I think I can go. At least half the distance I can go. And then remember I said, inspiration is something that you will get only when you are in action, not when you are sitting and doing nothing. But if you don't make a start, even after you become grandparents, you will still have the same regret. Or maybe I should have led life slightly differently. Maybe only that too. But if you make a start, early start, what it does to us is, it already has set the action in motion. You are already part of it. And best part is, you have already contributed at least 1% to that 100% that it takes to actually achieve the goal. But the first challenge and the only challenge we all fight with this in making a start. Okay, if you have a notebook, write down things which you would like to become expert in, which you want to develop your skills in. And don't think whether you can do now or future, it doesn't matter. Just write it down. Another 10 seconds. Prabhu, this feels like exam. How do you see yourself in next 2 years, 5 years, 10 years? Don't feel shy. You just aim. What's the problem? I told you in the retreat itself, I want to become multi-billionaire.
Skills or what?
Anything.
Like aim.
Yeah, your aim, goal, in whatever way, as I said, could be career, could be anything, your interests, any activity. Okay, 5, 4, somebody's writing an essay. 3, 2, okay, 1. Okay, let's hear from you. Let's start from Dhruv. Did you write?
Oh yeah.
Oh yes. Come on, go for it.
I want to master like videography.
You want to become master of videography. Prashun, you have an apprentice. Pavan,
I want to get into an internship.
you want to get into an internship. That's a short-term one. Think about long-term. I'll ask around and I'll come back to you again.
I guess it's some career-wise. I want a career aligned with my values. I enjoy doing.
Okay, good. Sir, you. Your name again?
Prince.
Prince. Okay, yes, Prince.
To become a full stack developer.
To become a
Full stack developer.
full stack developer. Okay, back end, front end, middle tier, everything. Good. Salan. And say it doesn't necessarily have to be just career wise. If you have more than one, you can say, could be, as I said, could be health, could be interest, could be anything, finance planning, anything. Yeah, go on.
For me, it's like having wealth to like buying house, car.
Okay, that's good. Yes, sir.
Settling down.
Settling down. Settling down is not a great goal. You will settle with anything.
Easy.
I want you to write down your dream. I'll come back to both of you. That's not good enough. Write what you want to achieve. Yes, Gyalbu, you need more time?
Investing,
Investing. Good. Investing in what?
mostly stocks.
Okay, mostly stocks. You have some company here. Prashun.
In 2 years, too many problems.
You are my man. Come on, go for it. In 2 years itself, he has too many. Read out.
Clearing family debt, PR,
Yes.
citizenship.
Yes.
In 5 years.
Hey, 2 years you can't get citizenship. Anyway. Okay.
5 years citizenship, takeaways of initiation.
Good.
In 10,
I have my franchisee here. Good.
in 10 years, DT.
Wow. Hey, you don't need 10 years for that. But touching Gopinath 10 years.
Oh,
But date worship you can start earlier.
okay, another doubt.
Okay, 5 years. Good. Very good. Suman.
Probably the gym trainer and opening the gyms.
Is that your field? Or that's your interest? Oh, that's very good. Good. What are you going to call your gym as? Arnold Gym? Too many in the world. Okay, that's very good. Anything else you have written? That's like your long term or medium term? Like 5 year?
Long.
Long term. Okay, that's very good. Yes. I know what you're going to say. Still, say.
Want to have my own hedge fund.
She wants to run her own hedge fund. Anyone want to invest? You can contact her. Yes. Yes.
I don't mind investing. Take care of my family and buy a penthouse.
And buy a penthouse. Wow.
On Pitt Street.
On Pitt Street. Okay, good. Anamika.
I've written out different goals for different fields. Like spiritually, I'm struggling with waking up early because I really want to wake up early and chant then because I want to feel that vibe of the morning. So that's where I'm going to go spiritually and obviously reading books. Health-wise, I've just started learning yoga. I want to really become good at it. So that's what I just started with. professionally, I do have a good career, but then I want to do something of my own by using what I've achieved, helping others with that, like making something content or something where I can help out people on that platform.
That's good. You are the one who told me you give PT classes. Do you know she's a PT trainer?
That's a part-time job.
That's a part-time. No, actually, when I saw that, like, wow, we have an English pro here with us. We didn't know, because we know people always look.
I work like Monday to Friday, 2.5 hours at Language Academy, and then Saturday. Obviously, I do have my own job, but that's part-time.
That's part-time. She's doing that out of her interest. That's very good, very unique. I have never come across. Thank you. Yes. Shh, keep quiet. Yes.
So this even I definitely want PR, and I also want to have international trip to like maybe Europe.
Any places in Europe in particular?
I like Paris.
You like Paris?
Yeah.
Good. Medium term?
Right now I'm doing childcare, so I want to get a sponsorship in childcare from center. So that's what I'm focusing on.
Okay.
Sponsorship.
That's very good. Long term, you have anything? Haven't thought about it. That's fine. Mega.
Yeah, I didn't realize we were doing short, medium, long.
2 years, 5 years, 10 years means short, medium, long. So you can. Okay. Do you need more time?
Yeah, let me just
Okay.
read my.
Come on, Anju.
At first within 2 years maybe PR, and then after that if the temple is built, like
What do you mean if?
and I want to start with opening Hare Krishna Chakra centers in Sydney, starting, and then maybe later like embedding Krishna consciousness in the primary schools, or like opening Gurukulas and all those, or like for the long term embedding Krishna consciousness in the whole educational system, making at least it's a part of the.
Salan, you heard that? Look at that dream. Look at your dream. Come on, man, think big. Look at her. Good, well done. Okay. You are Lakshmi Tamang, George Harrison. Your name? Anjana Shrestha. Okay, yes, go on. Yes, I told you, right? That's how I remember. Okay, go on.
Professional dancer.
You want to be a professional dancer? Looks like you have a company here. In what style?
Classical.
Classical. What classical style? There are many. You haven't thought about it yet? Okay, that's good. Anything else? Okay, go on.
In 5 years, I want to be a peer holder.
In 5 years, you want to be a PR holder. That's not a great goal in life. Come on, anyway, you'll become.
And after that, I want to be a manager in aged care.
Hmm.
So I can, in aged care, we do so many activities to engage elder people. So I can more to Harinam over there. Like I can engage them in those activities. And then spiritually, I want to be Pusari and deities.
Okay. So, serving deities.
And yeah, and
She does paraphernalia service every week. We have quite a few. We have Preeti, we have Salan. You know how they make garland? Preeti makes one side of the garland, Salan makes another side. Sometimes you see, hey, it's not like, matching. No, they actually make very symmetrically. That's very good. Good. Anything else?
and YouTuber.
And YouTuber. Yes, that's the way. Come on, Preeti.
Playing the musical instrument and speak confidently.
You speak confidently. You have 105,000 followers in Instagram, and you are telling me speak confidently.
I wanna speak like more confidently, like to like share the knowledge confidently, because I'm not that. I think like I'm not good at that thing. So, and the other is expert in time management.
That's something you added new now.
And maybe maintaining the health.
Mm.
And daily habit of reading book and daily service.
Good. Well done. Apeksha.
I just wrote that I didn't make like 2 years
I just do that.
It's up to you how long you want to take. You want to keep that option with you. Okay, right now.
I'm going to be a hairstyler.
How many things you will become? An hairstyler, dancer. She want to be the CEO of her company. Okay, hairstyler, go on.
And I want to develop my communication skills and also learn Odyssey, develop good book reading habit, become a good preacher, develop good relationship with others. I want to learn driving and musical instruments. And I want to live a life where I don't have many regrets. Like, I always regret a lot.
Really? Even after coming to Krishna consciousness? Why? Okay. That's very good. Are you done? She still have a long list. Fantastic. Good.
I think, yeah, that's it. Like, coming out of my comfort zone, career-wise also leveling up, developing communication skills and leveling up.
Wonderful. Yes. Yes. Say something that will match hers. Come on.
I don't have it.
Yep, go on.
So I want to work with consultant team. I already have one. I'm working. So I did some of the certification doing that. So I have 15 people team, which I'm doing virtually. They are back in Nepal. So that's a long-term goal. Short term is getting 18 PT. I haven't got. I still got a few. In reading and writing, I haven't been able to.
You have your guide here. You can check with her. Okay.
I do occasionally, maybe 3 days a week, but I want to do 7 days. Deep breathing for 20 minutes. That just relax my muscles. Reading, it's something I do mostly, but I want to start reading in Sanskrit, maybe in long term. Learning Chinese, which is very hard. I've been trying.
Any reason why you want to learn Chinese?
Would be good for my career, I think.
I also want to learn Chinese. That's why, just curious.
I have few friends, they try to teach me, but I failed miserably. Be a manager, which is the consulting company that I'm doing, marketing. Maybe own my house and have a stable life and be a good relationship with my parents, which it's an ongoing process. And yeah, for devotional, I want to be consistent.
Wonderful. Thank you. Kritika.
In about 2 years, I want to launch my startup. I'm working on it right now.
Startup in what? Or if it's a trade secret, keep it.
It's not a trade secret.
Okay.
I'm working on it. It's a product business.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to launch that in about 2 years. And I think you told me to dream big. So
Yes.
long term would be coming on Forbes 30 under 30 for a unicorn startup.
Wonderful.
Yeah, that's my.
Well done. Think big always. Yes. Lakshmi, Tamang. Finally, I'm getting George Harrison's name proper.
So in 2 years, I did do the master in education and get a PR. In 5 years, become a software developer. In 10 years, become a leader or chief information officer in the software development company.
Wonderful.
That's it.
Mega.
So I think in the short term, for devotional, I just want to be consistent and become better in whatever things I'm doing, whether it's chanting or getting more involved and things like that. Also just do a bit more study in certifications and courses in the fields that I'm interested in. And just have a good routine, whether it's exercise or sleeping, whatever, just a good daily routine. I would say in the medium term, be a good investor, and then also think of ways where I can be an entrepreneur. And then in the long term, I think I just want to be able to. This sounds very cringy, but just have inner happiness and peace. Just be content with whatever my life is, whatever is happening, and feel you can self-regulate your own emotions, whatever happens, and find positivity in it.
In it. That's very good. Yes, sir.
From online, Premananda Prabhu said he wants to learn Bengali. And play Mridanga and harmonium.
What is he doing now then? He plays tabla, flute, mridanga, harmonium. What more does he want to play?
Rajesh Prabhu said he wants to become successful businessman.
That's good.
And grow his own existing company. Amok Prabhu said he wants to drive car.
Oh my goodness. How old is he? 4 years? 5. Hey, does he want to drive a toy car? What is it? Okay, we missed someone. Salan. Sorry, is anyone else saying something? No.
That's also Rasika Mataji dream.
Okay, good. Yes, Salan.
Okay. Just buying house, buying car also is a big dream for me, because whole life my family will be living in a like 2-room rent house. We didn't have a house so recently we built a house with a loan. So my dream is to first clear that loan. Like for me, my dream to buy a house and a car means first clearing that loan, then shifting the name of that home into my brother's name, and then buying some lands for our family, and then buying a home.
You will do all of that in parallel.
So that's a chain for me. So that's already a big dream for me. Other than that, I can think of being a traveler, specifically traveling preacher.
Wonderful. Pavan, you finished already. Did anyone ask for more time? Oh yes, Roman. I know I missed somebody in this side. Okay, these two guys, come on.
I don't know, bro, nothing is coming out in my head. I think probably I just want to be a better person than what I am today. And for me, like, I have everything that I need in my life, you know.
Wonderful.
And just that, like, the definition of success and everything, it has already changed in my life. Being a millionaire, being this and that, like, you know, everything has changed. I don't even know what I want.
No problem. You have clearly defined your win. That's what matters actually. What we value more, that's what matters. Yes.
So for short run, my plan is to build a house in Nepal within 2 years.
That's my man. Come on, man. In short run, he wants to do that. in 2 years, he already built it. Oh, sorry. You're also my man.
Actually, I already calculated. So in the time frame, 2 years, I'm able to achieve that goal.
Wonderful.
And for the mid-term, like investing in trading, I'm not doing internationally, but just back in my home country, I'm investing every time whenever I have spare money. And financially independent, and trying different jobs and venture. I don't want to stop. I just want to try whatever I like. And Krishna consciousness forever.
That's very good.
We have one more.
Voting.
You want Krishna conscious politicians?
No, that's not good. Like in 2018.
Hey, you don't talk about his dream, man. Let him talk. Keep quiet.
Back in our country, it's 2082. So after 2 years, there's an election, big election. So usually there's new youths like independent who are much more for the people than the previous one. Old people who are just ruling for money. So I want to give much more knowledge for everyone. If like we can save our annual leave and money so that we can go back for voting and come back again.
He's saying for us.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he is telling all of you to go back what and...
The I would say that's the one in a, like 5 years in one time. So if it makes a sense, like since our family are there, I think they are the one who will.
Okay.
No, so that's the one point.
Thank you.
All of us, that's why we do.
No, we have to be socially responsible. Like, you know, if you ignore the public will ignore you. Okay, so everyone has a certain responsibility which we need to fulfill. Definitely. Did we finish everyone? Yes, you had somebody online.
KJ Thakur, he said.
Kshitij Shak Thakur or Keshav Thakur.
KJ,
Yeah, KJ Thakur, Kshitij, yeah.
I'd like to make an impact on the Australian education system through my tutoring business.
Okay, so you see, amazing, right? The range of professionals we have here in this room. My goodness. Unbelievable. So this is your dream. So you have to start with your second quadrant. Second quadrant is when you know it is important but it's not urgent. But then you have to kill procrastination, thinking I still have so much time like that. When my temple president told me, okay, write down what's your goal for 1 year, 2 year, 5 year, 10 year. What I wrote as 1 year goal, I was able to achieve in 2 months. Then I went to him and I said like, hey, we already crossed this. Then he said, okay, go for the next goal then. 2 year goal I was able to achieve within the next 6 months. And then 5 year goal in the next 2 years. 10 years goal, after 2 years, 1 more year. We crossed it. 3 years I ran out actually. Then I came up with, okay, now probably I can actually think big like that. That's how we ended up coming to Temple Rebuild project also. So point is, commitment empowers action. Once you commit to something, in Vedic times, normally when they have, like, there is no court, or even if there is a gathering, there is a judge, they usually do it under banyan tree. If you go even now, any places, ancient temples, or you go to your village, you go to your town, have you seen like small temples or something underneath that? The understanding there is, any promise, any conviction that you actually make under a banyan tree or a people tree like that, there is a certain vibes that comes with that, and it will push you to actually stick to that path, whatever promise that you make. So even now if you see villages, if you go, you will see them doing it. Now unless you have a dream, how many of you thought, 1 year, 2 year, 5 year, I've never thought about it even before in my life. But when you start to think, we all have the dreams, but you need to learn to quantify it now. Quantify it means against a timeline, against what resources it actually takes, how much time you need to actually fulfill that, what skills are needed, understand? You need to quantify it. And then you push it to the second quadrant, and then first principle is what? Make a start. Now when you have so many things, some of you said so many things, what to start? Prioritize them now. Among them, some things you may be able to start straight away. Start straight away. Some it may need some time for you to gain some resources in order to be able to make a start. That's fine, that can wait. But make a start on something which you can do now. When I say make a start on something, I'm talking 1 or 2 things. Not like don't try 20 different things. It won't work. I'll tell you one thing. Again, this is about nature of mind. There was one salesman who is very successful in a showroom in which he works. And when one guy asked, how are you so successful? He said, just to sit here and watch how I sell a pair of shoes. So as he was waiting, first customer came, he made them seated there. And then he asked them, is there anything you are after, any particular style that you are after? Would you like to try? Then they sat down there, they looked at the showcase and they said I would like to try that. And then he went and picked that. While he was picking, the lady said, I would like to try that one also. So he brought both. Try this. She tried, removed it, tried the other pair. Then he asked her, so do you like it? It's like, okay, I would still like to try something more. Then his friend saw him doing something interesting. He said all right, I will go grab, can you point at one more pair? Then she says that pair, I would like to. Then what he did was, he picked up the 2 pairs that he had already brought, and he asked that lady a question, of these 2, which is the one you don't like? Then she said, yeah, that one I won't take. He left the other pair here, took the pair which the lady said she won't like, replaced it, and brought the next pair. Then she tried, she's still not certain. Then she said I would like to try that one. Again he did the same thing, picked up these 2 and he says, which of these 2 you don't like at all? Then she said, that one I don't like. Put it back there, brought again another pair. Then finally the lady liked that, she left, and he told his friend, based on my experience, I have seen when you give too many choices to people, they can't make up their mind. So every single time she asked for more, he at least helped her eliminate whatever that she doesn't like. Understand? It's exactly the same way how our mind also works. When you have trillion things to do and you want to try everything at the same time, you cannot actually handle that. So you prioritize, pick up 1, maybe 2 things. depending on your capacity. If you are a student, you can try at this point 1 or 2 things only. But if you are working outside, you have a lot of free time, you can try. Like you see Anamika, she is doing PT. That's not her main work. Is there anyone here who is doing something which is not their main work? I'm a brahmachari, I'm doing a programming. Is there anything you are doing outside of your main work? What is it?
Building my startup.
Building her startup. You see here, it takes a lot of effort. I was quoting Arnold Schwarzenegger. He says, whatever that your passion is, you follow, just to spend 1 hour in that. But if you spend 1 hour on something every single day, by end of this year, you would have spent 360 hours in that. You would have become an expert in that. Understand? Anyone else doing something outside of your main job, out of interest? Yes?
Working on consulting team with the Nepal.
Working on consulting team. Okay, with Nepal. Yes, Prince? Cleaning. I'm not asking about your job. I'm asking about something which goes in the second quadrant. Something which is your passion, your interest, but you are able to put your time there. Even tiny part. Kushi, did you hand your hand up before?
I wanted to add something.
Yes, add.
Like how you mentioned, like you have to reverse engineer. So I'm just wondering what have helped me. What I did, I took a goal, and then I made a 8-year plan. No. 5-year plan, yearly plan, quarterly, weekly, and daily. And then whenever I do a task, I think to myself, oh, is it helping me in doing this? Let's say I want to become a CFA charter holder. So 2025 I'll pass CFA level 1, 2026 I'll pass CFA level 2, then level 3. It will be 2028 for me to become a charter holder. So that's how
You worked out.
I worked it out. So I mean, it helped me, so I thought it will help everyone else.
Thank you. So that's another way. So you think as if you have achieved the goal and you work your way backwards. That's the technique she had used. It'll work. Okay, you can reverse engineer that way. Understand? So then, okay, if I have to attain this at this point, if I have to build a house at that point, okay, it will cost, how much ever now. But if you study, anyone here who has studied finance investments, you know what is the meaning of present value and future value of money? Okay, it's like the most fundamental principle they'll teach you in finance and investments. Present value and future value means $1 today is more valuable than $1 tomorrow. That's the principle. Why? Because with this dollar you can now invest and you can multiply by tomorrow. Does that make sense? Now I'm talking just $1. Now you take $1 million, you take $100, $200 like that. So when you work your way backward, you can't work your way backward thinking, okay, that home, how much does it cost? 1 million. Okay, if I make 1 million in 5 years, will it be fine? No. Price would have gone up already. Understand? So when you do the projection, you have to actually see. This is, again, one technique Warren Buffett teaches. Basically, you project based on whatever your balance sheet is now in 10 years time, and then you do the stock valuation now. You work your way backwards, basically. That's how he does it. Simple principle, but it works in value investing. Okay, so you think about a goal. Like, you are thinking in another 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, whenever. But to go from here to there, first thing is you need to spend time. You know the joke? One guy went and prayed to God. God, please make me win lotto. Who knows that? He prays. First time. He doesn't win. Again, he begs God, just make me win this. I'll be the best devotee in the whole world. Again, he prays. Like this, he tries. He never wins. Second time, third time, fourth time. Finally, one day he gets vexed, frustrated with God, and he goes and chastises God. I've been such an ardent devotee of yours. I've been praying for such a long time. You still haven't made me win this. This is it. I quit. And then God took pity on him and he told him, my dear devotee, please buy a lottery first. This guy was actually hoping to win without even buying a lottery. So we need to do something from our side. What I'm saying is that you put your effort. You put your effort how much ever you can. You have your goal. And as you can see, no two persons' goals are same. Understand? Priorities are same. But principles we can actually take and we can try to learn from that. Okay, so principle here is, okay, you have listed down, prioritize them. Take 1 or maybe 2. You'll be lucky if you can do 2. At least 1, something which You want to become expert and you want to become good in, like, pretty much rest of your life. For Suman, it's like, opening its own health center or bodybuilding center, whatever. Like that, exercise center. Like that, we have to think, what is it that I want to actually do? And you have to start putting your effort slowly, 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 slowly. Prabhupada in his, I think, final lecture in Melbourne, in his Australian visit, I think in 1976, one person asks him, after Prabhupada finishes the class, that's like the final class, one person asks him, Swamiji, I like coming to your temple, but I can't follow the standards which your devotees are doing. I still like coming to the temple. I like your food, I like the singing, everything. Is there any use in me practicing like this? Prabhupada says, yes. Prabhupada says, so today you come, you give a cent and you go home. Tomorrow you come, again you put another cent. Day after tomorrow, another cent. Like this, if you do 100 times, you have $1. You do like that for 100 times, Prabhupada says you have $100 and you have a business, like the Prabhupada says. So point here is, any effort that you do, it counts. This is again something you can use to inspire yourself. Every single thing counts. Like one thing which Kushi said, when you know what your goal is, when you work your way backward, you know exactly, is this, whatever I'm doing now, is it taking me closer to my goal or away from my goal? If it's closer, okay, I'm gonna do. If it's away, no, I'm gonna say no. One of my teachers told me, if you really want to, he asked me, I met him in Mayapur, and then he told me, so what do you want to do? I said, I want to make whole Australia Krishna conscious. This is like, back in 2014. And then he told me, yeah, you can do it. If you want to do that, you have to learn to say no to things which are good, not bad. You have to learn to say no to things which are good. And then I said, like, learn to say things which are good. He said, like, yes, you will get distracted otherwise. Correct? There are so many things you can do with life, right? There are so many good things also you can do with life, correct? Everyone will say, like, okay, please come, spend the time, I am your friend, I'll sit and talk with you. Or you can go home, you can do so many things with that. But you can somehow or other fill your life with times like that, or you can have a goal and go towards it and learn to say no to things which are good because they don't contribute towards your goal. Okay, we won't have problem saying no to things which are bad. That's very easy because it's very clearly demarcated. But if you are serious about going towards your goal, you need to learn to say no to things which are good because they are not great. They are not good enough for you to pursue them. Otherwise, you will water down. Whatever time, whatever intensity, whatever energy you have, you will water it down. Okay, so pick one or two things. If you are a student, if you are working outside, you can easily do one or two easily. Focus on, once you identify, remember this is going to sit in the second quadrant wherein it is important but not urgent. And spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever, and understand that's what's going to shape up your life. Not the tasks that you do in urgent and important category. I have to, clear the exam, or I have to do this, I have to pay this, I have to do that. All of that, whether you like it or not, it will happen. They are all routine work. It will continue to do. They are not the ones that's going to define your life. Understand? They are not the ones that are going to shape up your life. You have practically zero control over them. And there'll always be something that will pop up. But we shouldn't get distracted and stay focused on what we want to become. Okay, remember, once you identify the task, most important thing is starting. Once you start, you will keep going. And when I say most important thing is starting, you can approach this as a task. Okay, I started it yesterday, I'll be able to continue. Or you can take it even on a daily basis, which means if you wake up in the morning, okay, take bath, brush your teeth, take bath, get ready. How are you going to actually approach the next hour? That's your first, understand, that's your first chunk of activity. What you do there, that's what's going to determine what you're going to do rest of your day. Okay, you can take your whole life this way, or you can take your whole life just for a day also. I have from morning this time to this time. Whenever I start my work, every single day I follow that practice. Okay, I go sit in front of my computer 9 o'clock, I visualize. Okay, when I have lunch, I want to be at this position. By then, I want to finish this task. And guess what? I'll finish by 10:30 itself. Once you are ready to actually go and embrace something, you will see things actually become much easier. Have you heard about this saying, fortune favors the brave? It does. Fortune favors the brave. You have to make a head start. Procrastination, again, it's another design of the mind. Mind will say, just to postpone it, keep on enjoying. How long can you enjoy? You cannot. That level of enjoyment is exactly same as sometimes you will see in the car park, little pigeons, they'll come and eat. Some devotee, when they carry the plate, they drop something. Some, let's say, French fries or something. We don't have it, but let's say. It come, it will eat, but before it eats, it has so much insecurity. Have you seen it? That's how much you can enjoy if you don't do your duty. It will look like enjoyment, but it's not enjoyment. You can't really relish, you can't actually derive nothing out of it. Understand, if you really want to enjoy, you can enjoy only along doing your duty. Completely giving up duty and doing something separately, or postponing the duty and doing something separately, you cannot enjoy happiness. I'm talking just material happiness. You cannot enjoy. Impossible. Okay, even if you want material level happiness, you need to do your duty. Tiny part at least. You need to make a start. Okay, so keep that in mind. Procrastination comes because we don't make a start. Moment you start, procrastination will go out of the window. Okay, you can serve Prasad. We'll stop here. You can ask questions now. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Gopinath Bhagwan ki jai. Samaved Gaur Bhakta Vrind ki jai. Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol.